was really strange. All right. Okay, sorry about that. That time wasn't actually my computer. No, yeah, that was that time it was not my computer. Everything's working with the computer side. It's just my internet literally died and I had to reset the router. So that's why it suddenly cut out. I wasn't expecting that either. So everything's been working perfectly on the end of on my end in terms of like getting the video, to not buffer and stuff. But yeah, that's unexpected. I didn't expect that to happen. So sorry about that, everybody. My apologies. It wasn't not intentional by any means. Trust me on that. That's a bruh moment indeed. It's a bruh moment. You like watch me write 7 over 5, and you're like, what you talking about? Okay. My bad on that. That's on me. You guys can. I went and like unplugged the router. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So sometimes my internet randomly goes out. Just because. Usually it just kind of fixes itself within like 5 seconds, but this time, no, needed a full reset. All right. In any case, let's continue moving forward here. As I was about to say, milk to meat here was 5 to 14, so that was 5 over 14, as everybody had stated earlier, and then 14 to 5 there was the last part there. Okay, so you guys are all correct about that, and we should be good to go there. All right. Okay. Any questions? Any questions about those examples? I think those are pretty straightforward. Okay. I think those are pretty easy. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, next part here is actually really important. All right. So this is what I was going to say next after we were rudely interrupted by terrible interwebs. Um, What we're going to do next is we can write ratios in lowest terms. Remember, since we can write these ratios as fractions, it's also possible for us to actually write those fractions in lowest terms as well. There is going to be one caveat to that, though, one very important exception that we have to take into account. So let's go ahead and talk about that here. And I'm going to make a note here, so that way you guys are aware about what's going down. So again, we may need to reduce. So again, note here, we may need to reduce if possible. But here's the important point here. What we want to do is we want to keep, we will keep both the numerator and denominator after reducing. So actually, I'll probably put that on the next slide down. So we want to keep the numerator and denominator after reducing. So normally we would write, say, 3, let's say we had like 3 over 1, okay, for example there. Let's say we had 3 over 1, and I wanted to say, all right, hey, and then we say, okay, well, 3 over 1 is equal to 3. That's fair. Well, that's not what we want here. We want to actually keep both the numerator and denominator. So we want the 3 on the numerator. We want the 1 in the denominator. Okay, that's what we want. All right, want to keep it as, since we want to keep it as a ratio at the end of the day. Okay, so 3 is not a ratio. We want 3 to 1 being our ratio. Okay, 3 over 1. All right, now having said that, let's go ahead and get rid of this. Bye. Let's go ahead and take a look here at this first one, which says 60 days of sun to 20 days of rain. So it says 60 days of sun to 20 days of rain. So all we're going to do here is going to take 60 over 20. And again, you can divide by anything, again, to reduce it down as much as possible. Hello again. Hello. So we're going to divide this by, we'll divide it by 10 here first. Okay. So we get 6 over 2, and then you could divide by 2 here. Again, I know you could divide by 20, but if you don't see that right away, you can divide by 2 different values, and that should be fine here. So here, indeed, we actually get 3 over 1, or again, a 3-to-1 ratio. Okay, just like so. Okay, so this would be like, again, 3 days of sun to 1 day of rain. All right, is how we could read that ratio out. Okay, now let's go ahead and try another one here. All right. Okay, so let's try, which one I want you to try here? No. All right, let's try this first one here. Letter A, 9 hours to 12 hours. Can anybody give me the ratio for that? 9 hours to 12 hours. Okay. 3 to 4, okay. Good. Yeah, yeah. What section are we on? We're on section 5.1. Last section was section 4.5 was last Thursday. Section 5.1 is today. All right. All right, so 3 to 4 is correct. So we get 9 over 12. Again, just divide straight up by 3. So we get 3 to 4. And there we go. Got it. All right, nice work. Notice that the units here are exactly the same. Notice that we have 9 hours to 12 hours. Okay. Let's take a look here at letter C. Write the ratio of length to width of this rectangle. Ratio of length to width in this rectangle. What would that be here in this case? Just 2? Remember, we want to keep the fraction there. Yeah, 2 to 1, that's correct. Okay, so yeah, 2 is not a ratio, unfortunately. It has to be 2 to 1. So, again, our length here is 48. Our width here is 24. Very good. Okay, so we got 2 to 1 here. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. So that one, not too hard. All right. Any questions about those two? Those are pretty straightforward, but okay. All right. Now, let's look at this next example here. Now, this next example is going to use decimals here. But again, I'm going to stress on this one here. Again, we're going to need to read the problem very carefully here to get our answer. So the price of a Sunday newspaper increased from $1.50 to $1.75. Find the ratio of the increase in price to the original price. So we're going to talk about here specifically, it asks us for the ratio of the increase in price to the original price of this newspaper. So let's talk about first the increase in price. What is the increase in price here? What's the increase in price of this newspaper? All right, 25 cents, right? So we're going to take, again, $1.75. Divide that, what am I doing? That's, divide that. I meant subtract that. Boy, that was dumb. Subtract from $1.50. And so we get 25 cents here. All right, there we go. What is the original price here? All right, what is the original price? $1.50. That's right. So the original price here is $1.50. So putting that together here, we get 25 cents on the top and $1.50 here on the bottom. Okay. All right. Now, what is so basically, like if you just kept it like this would be fine. You could leave it like this. Now, if it does ask you for whole numbers in lowest terms, then you can actually convert this into whole numbers using lowest terms. How do we do that? Well, what we're going to do here in this particular problem is to make it easy on ourselves, we're going to multiply by 100. If we multiply by 100, then this moves the decimal spot 2 places. Okay, so we're going to get 25 on the top and 150 on the bottom. Then all we're going to do is divide by 25 on the numerator and denominator. And so here we're going to get 1 over 6. So a 1 to 6 ratio is what we get here in this instance. Okay? Any questions about that third example there? All right. Now this time here, I'm going to have you guys work out this problem here. So let's take a minute or so. Let's have you guys try this out. Okay? And then we'll give this a go. Okay, can you reduce that down though, Patricia? Let's see if you can reduce that down and then get a ratio. Oh, wow. Holy moly. Yep, okay. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if that answer is correct. Okay, you guys are on the ball. All right, so our increase in price here is $7 minus 5.50. All right, so our increase in price is $1.50 for this lipstick. So we're going to take $1.50 divided by our original price here. Our original price is $5.50. Okay. So what we're going to do now is just go ahead and multiply by 100 here. So we get exactly as was stated here earlier, 150 over 550. And we'll go ahead and divide by 10 here to start with. So you get 15 over 55. And let's divide by 5. And so here indeed we get 3 over 11. Or again, as stated earlier, 3 to 11. That's correct. Very nice job, everybody. Nice job. Got it. All right. Good beans. All right. Any questions about that example? Hopefully that's not too hard. Nope. Okay. All right. All righty. Next, let's talk about the next part here. Next part here is using mixed numbers in ratios. So this is kind of like using the basic numbers here, but here we're now using mixed numbers. So let's talk about the key behind using mixed numbers as a ratio as a comparison between, again, two numbers and again putting it in whole terms and the whole 9 yards. Alrighty. So the way we want to do this is, and what's the main key here? The main takeaway from this is that we want to what we want to do is we want to convert mixed numbers into an improper fraction. So that's what we want to do here first. So we want to convert a mixed number into an improper fraction. So before we even start the problem here, that's effectively what we want to do here in this instance. All right. So we're going to convert 3 1/4 here to and 1 1/2. Okay. So let's look at 3 1/4 here. Now 3 1/2, 3 1/4 here, pardon me. What does that convert to as an improper fraction? 13 over 4, right? 3 times 4 plus 1 over 4. Get 13 over 4. How about 1 1/2? All right, 3 halves. Good. Now, that's the key here. All right. Now, one of the most important things that we're going to be doing here was what comes next. Okay, we want to prevent a lot of confusion here in a problem like this, and we have to be very extra careful here, especially because of the fact that we've been putting it into fractions, right? One number over another, one number in the first number in the numerator, second number in the denominator. So one thing I'm going to point out here, and that's going to be kind of a note here, big note here, Put parentheses around each fraction. Now, you're probably saying, well, why would I do that? What would be the point in, doing that? Well, this helps you keep yourself organized in a problem like this. So what we're doing here is we're effectively doing this. We're doing 13 over 4, so put it over here on the side. We're doing 13 over 4, and I put that in parentheses, and I'm basically putting that over 3 over 2. Okay, just like so. All right. That's essentially what it looks like, just like that. So what that means is that what we are doing is we're taking 13 over 4, at least we know that's the first fraction, divided by the second fraction, 3 over 2. So can anybody tell me here, what happens when we divide fractions? What happens in this case? What should I do if I divide a fraction? How do we do? Invert and multiply. Okay, that's correct. All right, both of you, perfect. Okay, remember we're going to take the reciprocal of the second fraction, i.e. we're going to flip the second fraction. That's correct. So we're going to take 13 over 4, keep that first fraction the same, but flip the second fraction, and correctly stated here as 2 over 3. All right, nice job, guys. Now we go ahead and reduce stuff down just as we normally do. Again, 2 and 4 go into each other, so we'll divide by 2 here. This becomes 1, this becomes 2. So here we're going to have 13 times 1 over 2 times 3. And so here we get an answer of 13 over 6. Or again, this would be 13 to 6. Okay, just like so. All right, good stuff. So far, so bueno. All right. Now that you have that example, okay, I want you to take a good minute here, and I want you to try this example. So yeah, right away into having you guys try out a problem here. I want you to take a minute or two and try this example here. It's the toughest example here, so I want you to see where we're at. And so again, let's give you a minute, and then once you're done, go ahead and put that answer in the chat. Yeah, 13 over 6, because we want to keep it as whole numbers there, Sion. So since we want to keep it as whole numbers, that's why it's 13 over 6. Okay, 3 to 2, Patricia says. All right. Any other answers here? Any other answers? 3 to 2, okay. We got the same answer there. Anybody else? Okay, 3 to 2, 3 to 2. All right. Okay. So it looks like we all got the same result here. Let's go ahead and find out if that indeed is the answer. So first, 5 and 5/8. Fairly simple here. 5 and 5/8 is equal to 45 over 8. 3 and 3/4 here is going to be 15 over 4. Okay, so what we're going to have here, again, we'll put our parentheses here. So what we're going to have here is we're going to have 45 over 8. Okay, over 15 over 4. Okay, so that's, again, a straight up division problem here. Oh, sorry about that. That should have been Control C, right? Yeah, right. Okay, so we'll flip that second fraction there. 45 over 8 times 4 over 15. Here we're going to divide by 15 straight up. It's very convenient. Again, if you're not sure that divided by 15, you divide by 5 and then divide by 3. Here we can divide by 4. All right, so here we get 3 times 1 over 2 times 1. And so that's correct here. We get 3 over 2, or again, 3 to 2 is the correct answer. Very nice, everybody. Great job. That's a toughie, but you guys got through it pretty easily. All right, smooth as silk. All right. Good stuff. Okay. Any questions about that? All right. We'll move on here then. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about here is basically looking at more ratio problems, but this time here we have a, oh, yeah, you have a question. Go ahead, Samantha. Go for it. This is very easy, but the answer is very hard. Okay. All right. That was you figured that out a while ago. I'm pretty sure you weren't expecting that answer. That's the meaning of life. There you go. Congratulations. Make of it what you will. But the control of your free will is the meaning of life. Simple as that. Would you care for a demonstration? I can help with this if you'd care for a demonstration. Okay. All right. So, all right. Everybody who's watching this stream right now, okay? Everybody who's watching the stream right now, I would like you to, in front of your screen or wherever you're sitting or standing or whatever, I want you to go ahead and stick out your right hand. Okay, just stick out your right hand like I'm doing here on screen. Okay, so stick out your right hand just like so. Put this toward the camera here. All right, and I want you to move your index finger like this. Just move your index finger just like this. Now, you moved your index finger. Now, let's understand something here. I was able to move my index finger, but I didn't make you do it. You chose to move your index finger because I asked. That is basically the control of your free will. Now, I could ask you again, and you don't have to move your index finger if I do it again. So let's try it a second time. I'll put out my right hand once again, and I'll ask you, move your index finger. Now, if you did not move your index finger, that was a choice that you made for yourself. And that's basically, you have the choice to either move your index finger or not move your index finger. You have the abilities. You have 2 hands, 2 feet, whatever. Even if you don't have 2 hands or 2 feet, you have free will. You have the chance to think, You have the chance to do something with that free will. You can do that. What do you choose to do with that free will is your choice. Environment, circumstances, yes, those are all things, but those are all things that we happen to be thrown into. However, it's what you do with your free will after that point is going to be the meaning of your life at the end of the day. Do you want to be in that environment? No? Okay. Do something that'll hopefully get you out of it. All right, you'd maybe have to adapt faster than others. But it's still the choice that you want to make at the end of the day. When I realized that in my early 20s, it really opened my eyes. I was like, oh. It's a hard answer, though. It's a hard answer. An easy thing to state, but very, very difficult. So I realized that the answer wasn't complex. I realized that the answer itself was really simplistic, but the actual intricacies of the answer itself is very complex and very deep. So easily stated, but not easily done. And that's my brief synopsis of what happened in my early 20s. I'll be grading that fairly soon. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have time to do it this weekend, so I apologize about that. I will be doing that fairly soon, yes. And I'll be posting that grade on the on D2L soon. All right. Let me go ahead and do this last part here. Now that we it shows a grade on yours. Is it wrong? The chapter 2 and 3 test. I graded the chapter 1 test, not the 2 and 3 test. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. Maybe I just put in the wrong blank. So that could be what happened. But I'll take a look at that and then fix it as necessary. That's not a problem. Thanks for letting me know. Basically, I got like a whole spreadsheet, and so I kind of have to fill in the blanks there. So, yeah. If I accidentally skipped a blank, then sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle. So, on the D2L spreadsheet anyway. All right. Yeah, the percentage should be on the grading thing. Yeah. Percentage should be on my math lab there, but then that's not the final amount of points that you necessarily get. Because then I take a look at your work and stuff. So my math lab has it, but then I have to transfer that over to um, I'll transfer that over to D2L and then change that accordingly. So don't worry, I'll take care of that on my end. That's a me problem, not a you problem. Okay, I gotta get this done though. So let me go and do this. All right. All right. Next one here. All right. Now, next part here is one of the things that we talked about here at the beginning of class here today, and that was talking about how if we're going to compare two things together, okay, that they have to be within the same units. Okay, so for example here it says write the ratio of the length of the shorter board on the left to the length of the longer board on the right, compare it in inches. But you see here that the first board here is 2 feet and the second board here is 30 inches. Now the problem with this is that one is in feet and one is in inches. However, if we put them both in the same context, again using the same units, then we can actually write a ratio out because they'll both be, say, in inches or they'll both be in feet. Now, they do want us to specifically compare it in inches. That's what they would like us to do. So if we're going to compare it in inches here, let's go ahead and take this 2 feet here, and we want to convert that into inches. So 2 feet here takes basically in inches is 2 times 12, 12 inches in a foot. And so we're going to have 24 inches here, just like so. So the first board here is 24 inches, and the second board here is 30 inches. So what our ratio is going to be is 24 over 30. And so we're just going to go ahead and divide by 6. And so here we get 4 over 5. So it would be a 4 to 5 ratio here. All right. So that's how we basically want to do those type of problems there. Put it in the same units. Again, you want to pick the units that are probably the easiest to use. So let's take a good look at this next one here. Write the ratio of 28 days to 3 weeks. So it's probably easier to put it into, you could put it into weeks to days, for example, if you want. So you could say, okay, well, 3 weeks equals 3 times 7, right? So that's going to be 21 days, right? So here we have 28 over 21. And then we can divide by 7 on the numerator and denominator here. And so we get a 4 to 3 ratio. Okay. So again, doing some conversions here to put it in the same units and then being able to do the thing here in terms of the ratio. Now here are some measurement comparisons right here. Again, some of them you know pretty much by heart, like the time stuff is pretty easy. Some length stuff like 12 inches is a foot, 3 feet in a yard. I'm not expecting you to know all of these off the top of your head. Like capacity, I know people have tough time with capacity, so I'm not expecting you to know this off the top of your head. Go ahead and use this chart as you see fit. That should be pretty straightforward in terms of how you want to kind of do things. All right. In any case, let's have you guys try out a problem here. We'll try out one example. I want you to try letter A, and actually, let's have you guys try out letter C as well. There should be 2 quick problems here, so let's take a minute or 2. All right, last 2 examples for the day. So let's take a minute or 2, and let's figure out the ratios for each. Okay. We have letter C as well. Okay. Jeez, Louise. Phone is. All right. Okay. 3-2 for the last one there. All right. Okay. Okay. We got a couple answers there. Let's go ahead and see what we get here. Okay, if you didn't get it right away, then that's okay. It's no big deal. So in this case here, it's probably better for us to convert from 6 feet over to inches. Okay, we'll see you then. So here we're going to have, again, 6 times 12, which equals 72 inches. So we have 9 inches to 72 inches. And if we divide by 9 on the numerator and denominator, we're going to get 1/8, or a 1:8 ratio, just like so. So letter A, correct, 1:8, absolutely spot on. This last example here, 7 yards to 14 feet. Okay, so 7 yards, they're 3 feet in a yard. So 7 yards here is equal to 7 times 3 for the amount of feet. So this is equal to 21 feet. So we get 21 over 14 divided by 7 on the numerator and denominator. So we get 3 and we get 2. So finally a 3-to-2 ratio. Okay. Okay, so that is a 3-to-2 ratio there, and that will be our final answer. Good stuff. All right. So that is the end of section 5.1. What course is after this next semester? The next course is Math 096. 096. So it goes Math 090, 096, and then 098. And then comes the college algebra course. So all right. Any other questions you guys have for me? Nope. All righty. Okay. All right. Okay, so that takes care of it for today, everybody. All right. I want to thank you all for coming on the stream once again. So hopefully you learned a little bit of math and you learned a little bit about the meaning of life too. All right. uh, all right, everyone, have a very wonderful afternoon. All right. Please take care of yourselves. Okay. Sit back, relax, enjoy yourself a little bit, and I will see you in a couple of days. Okay. You have a wonderful day as well, Patricia. You too. Okay. All right. Have yourself a wonderful day. Apologies about the internet interruption there, but hopefully that'll be few and far between. So, all right, have a great rest of your day as well, Samantha. All right, I'll email you the notes here, so or at least the basic notes. I won't be able to email you these notes on here because then I would have to send you the handout every single time, unless you would want that. But I don't know. You tell me. Okay. All right. Have yourself a great afternoon, everybody, and take care of yourselves. All right. We will see you later. All right. Take care. All right. Bye.